Okay, sports fans. That went on. Oh, hi there. How are you?
Oh,
this is Gino Fratelloni, 2 T's, 2 L's, 3 F's, and 7 G's.
Correct. Yeah, I just came from Rotary in Westford. They are very nice and beautiful club, very nice people. And also you get all together. It's just like a family. People should join more Rotary. You should join Rotary. Service about self. Thank you.
About self or above?
Come on.
Oh, okay. We have a new sponsor today. Okay, it's now Dunkin' Donuts is now Dunkin'. All right.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, the German?
What?
Okay.
We're wasting time. All right, now this one is the parent company is Joton, J-O-T-O-N, management company, LLC. All Dunkin' stores that he owns are owned by the Pino family. And the stores are located, and you'll get this, for those people in Nevada that want to come here, we'll ship it. Stores are located in Westford, Bill Ricker, which some people pronounce Billy Ricker, Andover, Stoneham, Woburn, right? The beautiful Lynn, and Reading, or better known as Reading. Now, you have something to bring up.
Yes. I have here a beautiful flyer that says, "Help WestfordCAT reach our fundraising goal today."
Now, CAT is Community Access Television.
Okay. Now, you go the second line.
I go to the second?
Yeah.
All right. Because
Okay. Want to learn more and get involved with your local TV? Become a member. Okay?
May I?
Yes.
Now you can be. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You can become a supporter for $25, single, and $40 for a household. All right?
And then civic partner for $75.
Thank you.
Organization can submit article to WestfordCAT news and announcement for our community bulletin board.
Now,
your member get discount on our classes, special event, or scheduled time in our public visual reality lab.
are you yelling?
Now, the
No,
other
wait a
one,
minute.
that's yours.
The supporter, you can use the public virtual reality lab. Okay. Then for 100 smackaroos,
Yep.
you're a producer, all right? I am a producer. How much did I pay?
You're supposed to pay $100.
I did.
Okay.
Came out of my sponsorship.
Okay.
Sponsorship fund, all
That's
right?
good.
Don't yell at me.
I'm proud of
A
you.
little linty.
Okay. Now,
Now, all right. Now for station sponsor, this is the
Okay.
biggie.
it's
300
$300.
smackers, yes. What do you got?
Businesses get acknowledgement on our community bulletin board at least 25 times a day. Discounted production service are also available.
Thank you. Now, to become a member today, or even tomorrow, you go to Westford. Oh, we don't need www because, all right, www, 3 w's.westfordcat.org/, you like that?
Yeah.
Membership. Now, we have 1:25 to go. So,
Go ahead.
Well, go ahead. What do you got?
Where do you want me to go there?
I don't want anything. All right. Thank you. You've done very well.
You too.
Now we'll get a translator to figure out
I
what
have
you
to
said.
In what language you want me to translate it?
Well, that wasn't English, I'll tell you that. All right, a little bit Italian. Huh? We're going to have a brilliant interview, all right?
Right.
With a young meteorologist from, thank you, from the audience, Minneapolis. Predictix is the name of the company. I would spell it for you, but you wouldn't be able to pronounce it if I did. They have an A at the beginning. I don't know why. And this is from Minneapolis. They do weather forecasting and other things. The young lady is Susie Martiin. Yes, not related to Billy Martin, who played for the Yankees and was, I don't know how many times thrown out of the Copa. Well, not thrown out. He was asked to leave. And she's the operations manager. Yes.
Who needs a translator?
I don't know.
Or me?
My teeth. My plate's loose. I don't have
you always have
one.
an
Operations manager. So now, do you have anything else in 16 seconds?
I just wanted to make sure that people get involved and support CAT of Westford. Local TV is very important. You cannot neglect it. We have to support. Please support. Thank you.
All right, you got a few more seconds. What else do you want?
That's it. That's
Oh,
all
come
done.
on, don't waste time.
Why? We all done.
All right, remember, they're flashing. All right, so here we go to the interview. Okay, we're on. I'm with Susie Martiin of, you're a director of operations, right? of Predictix.
That's right.
Predictix, right?
Yep, you got it.
Spelled incorrectly, but it's done well. What's the A in there for?
You know, that's derived from Latin. Predictio means forecast.
All right,
and we kind of been on that. We do regret it. Looking back.
Nobody can pronounce it.
No, everyone asks us why is it spelled like that? How do you pronounce it? And then telling everybody our email addresses. It's just drama left and right.
Really?
Yeah.
And Latin, huh? Okay, good. There'll be no cursing in me, please. All right. So now, all right. You're in Minneapolis, but not really. You're in Eden Prairie.
Eden Prairie, so we're not in downtown Minneapolis.
Right.
We're about 20 minutes south and west of the city, so one of the southwest suburbs.
You sound like you do broadcasting. It'll be south and west, not just southwest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. 12 miles down from downtown, it said.
That's right.
Anybody measured it? So you've been in, the company's been in, yes, go ahead. No?
No, the company, I think you were asking me earlier when the company started. So we've been running now for just over 10 years.
Ooh.
August 2008 is when we launched. And we actually started as Weather Nation.
Which that
name might sound familiar because there is a national weather channel called Weather Nation. We actually launched that channel with our company back in 2010. And we later... We did that with a group of a partnership out west, and we did split ways. They're running Weather Nation. We're no longer affiliated with them, but we've gone through a few name changes in the process. So.
Well, because you have a lot of people there who have to keep changing names just to stay there.
Yeah, exactly. But so that's kind of the history of the company. So
isn't there? Is Weather Nation out in Seattle or something, or out in Colorado?
No, they're actually. Yeah, they run the channel out in Denver now.
That's what I thought, Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They may as well have been on the football field this year. They wouldn't have gotten hurt. You know? All right. So now you've had winter. We here in Boston, we went from 0 to 65. But what the heck? Boston's had, I think, something like 1.4 inches of snow this season.
That's it?
Yeah. We're outside the northwest suburb, and we've had, you like the way I'm covering my northwest suburb, all right? And we had I guess about 8 inches of snow in November, which we didn't know why. And then we had 7 inches. There was, the first one turned to rain, the second one turned to sleet. But then it kept warming up and they're all gone. Oh, then we had a 3-inch last week, which was a blizzard. It's ridiculous. There's nothing.
It's it's funny you say that. Even though we definitely are getting our dose of winter now, our December and January here in Minneapolis and Minnesota have been really quite laughable. I mean, we were talking about 40s in January.
Any mosquitoes?
You would think that's our state bird.
Is it? Good. 10,000 lakes.
That's right. Oh, we've got lots of mosquitoes, let me tell you, with all those lakes. But I was amazed that in the 10 years that I've lived here, I could see grass in January. And for a while, actually, it just didn't feel like winter really for the longest time. Now that has come to an end. Now we're in full winter mode. So I think there's a little bit of payback that's going to be happening here. Probably it'll be an interesting February, which statistically is actually not a very snowy month. But the trends the last few years have been kind of shifting a bit, and February has become more and more interesting with regards to snowstorms. And
maybe it's because of the weird climate changes.
There's a lot of interesting anomalies that are starting to happen that folks are really noticing as they look back at the last 10, 20 years. Even local climate really starting to shift a bit. But here, it's certainly looking interesting. We had an
when was that? April. Because so we went in and out.
Last April when we had a significant snow event. It was well over a foot of snow.
That's to pull the power lines down. That's all, right?
Yeah. So we'll see if that happens again this year because we definitely did much.
We had a lot of snow in March last year. There was a 22 incher. Not that it stuck around because it was March.
Yeah.
So
it melts fast. That's miracles.
Well, nobody understood that because we're going in and out again. Why don't you? Can we get somebody who can read lips? Okay.
Maybe. Oh.
What about? I mean, the winter's been, except for your area, right in the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes, it's been nothing. Right.
Until now that things are finally, like I said, starting to feel like winter, but we are way below average snow-wise. We had above average temperatures December and January. You know, in the southeast, and tomorrow again. So that's correct. Like most of the country has really not had a good winter.
You know,
in general, as far as snow.
Europe has had some biggies, especially in the mountains. You see some of those pictures? I'm jealous.
The Austria.
Yeah. Didn't Italy have some? They had some. They had some snow in Greece too, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Maybe they can ship it.
Amazing to me yesterday that the Bay Area, California, got snow. I don't know if you caught that.
My goodness.
That doesn't happen often at all. That's a huge.
How high up?
They actually snowflakes. There was video of snowflakes at the National Weather Service office in Monterey, which is
really.
I think their office is 92 feet in elevation. Napa Valley and Sonoma Valleys, they got snow, so that's.
Well, I'm glad to see it somewhere. It was probably confetti from some, you know. Jeez. Don't trust those people in California. Hell, never. Especially the Rams. I don't know. Jeez. Great game.
I didn't even watch it.
It was the LA Whams. The Whams. Yeah.
I didn't much from what I hear.
Oh, well, no, it's not like a baseball game. 3-0 at the half, 3-3 after 3 quarters. I don't know. I wonder who was pitching.
Brutal.
It was.
Brutal.
Now, I know there's 2 models. Once these guys get excited over here, there are 2 models, guys. First of all, Miss Euro, right? Which stands for European, right? I hope so. And then there's the American model. The European, strangely enough, is in Europe, right? Strangely enough. And then the other one is the GFS. And I keep forgetting what that stands for. Great Foolishness System or something?
Because Global Prediction System?
What is GFS? What is the F? Oh, forecasting.
Forecast system. That's right.
Global Forecasting System.
Forecasting system. Maybe something like that. Don't quote me on that.
You're on tape. You're quoted. But do they spend more money on the European model than they do on the GFS?
Oh, for sure. Here in the United States, we're working on a limited budget, obviously, and especially if you're following politics lately, you know that it's been very strained. Budget for things like weather and models has been really challenging for the United States. The Europeans have a more privatized model, and they really pump. They run, I believe, about $90 million dollars are pumped into making the euro annually to make it.
Is that Unisys? Is it Unisys or it was?
No, it's the UK Met Office, I believe.
All right. Well, you know the British, they can't get out of Brexit, but they gotta.
Yeah. Yeah, but they really do top of the line everything. They have more computational power. They run more simulations for the ensembles. For example, the Euro runs 50, the GFS runs about 20. So, you know, all of those things can factor in.
Could you explain the ensembles? Is that where they put them all together?
Yeah. So what they basically do is they run simulations with certain parameters at a lower resolution, and they make some assumptions. So if we know, or if we think the atmosphere is going to do X, Y, Z, they tweak some of the parameters and run the model and see how that affects the outcome. And they'll do that and play with different parameters, and then they'll put that together, those different runs as an ensemble.
How reliable is it?
Well, ensemble runs can be great because they look at the average, and those actually tend to perform better, I believe. And I'm not a model expert, but this is from my understanding. And I know in general, when you look at the averages, that tends to have a better outcome. So if you're cherry picking a model and running with it for a longer course of time, it's just not, you're not going to be as accurate about it. And that's where humans come into play, right?
Oh, no. No. Don't do
no
that.
No humans?
No spin. No. Somebody's, I'd rather have an animal coming in for deciding. You know?
Well, statistically, the National Hurricane Center, for example, every year goes back and takes a look at model performance and compares it to their forecasts. And it's pretty consistent that their forecasts are the best. So when you have somebody, a meteorologist, sitting down and looking at all the spreads and all the models and coming up with a forecast, that definitely beats everything versus just sticking to one model. Europe has really elevated elevated and put on a pedestal after Hurricane Sandy in 2012.
Well, they had it right a week ahead of time.
Right. I mean, an amazing feat for the model for sure. And there's a couple of other standout events since then. But I think a lot of people still are very impressed by that performance and still rely on the Euro heavily. That's not to say that the GFS is complete trash. I think the recent improvements that they did in resolution on 2015 has made some that was a huge upgrade for us, for the American models. So, and I do think it's still very useful. It's useful to see both tools. The GFS has been right on numerous occasions versus the Euro. I mean, you can't argue, though, that the Euro is better funded, and hence something that's better funded and runs more simulations is likely going to be more accurate. Yeah. But as a whole, the GFS is still a world-class model. So I know people like to joke and peg the two together, but they're still very useful tools if you look at them both side by side.
That sounds like Stephen Sondheim. Stephen Sondheim, side by side. Wasn't he he wrote plays, didn't he? Songs. Okay, good. Moving along. So is there anything you'd like to discuss? Or are you just disgusted? I mean, what the heck?
Yeah. I think it's interesting always to hear different perspectives. With you in Boston, how your winter has been going. You told me a little bit about that.
We haven't had one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no wind or lack thereof. But Ed, have you noticed any differences? Have you been in Boston for a long time?
Yeah, since the Revolution, yes.
Perfect.
Since 74.
Since 64. So
74.
as you think
back 74.
74? Okay, you're aging yourself, Ed.
But no, I did that myself. I'm actually 25, but I grew up in New York City, so that's what the problem is.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That could do it.
But if you look back at your winters, I'm curious to know what your perspective is as you think back to the winters you grew up with. Are you noticing any changes?
Well, when I grew up in New York City, it was every Friday we had a snowstorm in 1956. Of course, it was gone soon, but at 56 every Friday. And then you had some big years like Mayor Lindsay's storm. He was in, I think, Bermuda when that happened. It took a week to get the garbage in Queens.
Wow.
Couldn't get through. And then I think it's been tapering down, except a few years ago we had snow all the time. But this winter's really nothing. But last winter didn't do much until March. And look at that. Peripheral bridge. Okay, so you're in the manager. You're going, do that, please. Get over here and get my pizza.
Yeah. business decisions. That's kind of where my role has grown toward.
So, is there any something else you'd like to bring up, like why the twins stink? And
I don't think I don't know. I'm not a huge sports fan, so I'm not.
Oh, I'm an Islanders fan.
Are you an Islanders fan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't stand the Rangers.
Yeah. That's at home. We're all about the Rangers.
Why is that?
I don't, for whatever reason, my husband loves them. He loves really weird teams.
Where is
he's
he from?
He's from California.
Oh, I can
And
see the connection there.
he's a Chicago Cubs fan
He has my condolences.
and a Rangers fan. Who knows? Who knows?
You sure you wanted to marry him? You may want to reconsider this. You know, tell him.
All these years.
How long have you been married? 16 years or something? 3 years? 2 years?
We're going on. This will be 10 years in October.
So you got married when you were 16. I understand.
Thanks, Ed.
Certainly. I got married when George Washington was in Trenton, New Jersey at the time.
Yeah.
It was a slow winter. All right, so we have 18 minutes and 12 seconds. I always like to announce that. So
All right, great.
I want. You have any questions of me of how I became unstable and?
Well, a little bit about your background. I think I'd be interested to know kind of what your background is and your career involvement.
I have 2 degrees in meteorology.
Great.
One's from City College of New York, and the other one's from the University of Wisconsin in Madison.
Oh, okay.
On Wisconsin.
A badger, yeah.
I'm a beaver and a badger because CCNY was a beaver. You know, no, I've done meteorology, quality assurance. I've taught. And when I'm standing there teaching, I was wondering, why am I doing this? They don't. You got to take away the calculators. Let's see, 2 plus 2 is 10. Okay, I got that. And they don't want to use it. They forgot. They didn't know you could cancel units, just like you can cancel numbers. And when and then they do an equation, and I'm looking for how long it takes from the sunlight to get to the U.S., get to Earth, right? And you know, oh, do I have to have units with it? Oh, no. You got to get a number. They didn't put the units down. They don't know what it is. You know, terrible.
Yeah. Remember those days.
Ridiculous. And a simple problem. Let's get the calculator. Put that down. You know? God. Well, no, so anything, I batted 286. And, you know, I used to play a lot of softball in New York. You ever hear of a 3-sore hitter? A 2-sore hitter? They had sores and there was manhole covers. That was a long hit in the street.
Wow.
Yeah, we played with a bouncing ball stick, somebody's broom, and we played it in the street, you know. And one day, a guy was coming around second, and third base pulled out. It was a car. What do you do? And then there were sores. The ball went down there. We said, okay, forget that one. We'll get another one.
Boy.
So we all chipped in, you know, and 3 days later we got another ball. We played in cement. A park in New York City is opening in the cement, but it's still cement. I had a friend from Iowa. He was looking for the park. He went right by us. I said, he was looking for grass. I said, come on now. We don't have that here.
It's New York. There's no
That's right.
grass.
We got cement. And that tree in Brooklyn died. You know, I remember a tree grows in Brooklyn. Couldn't take it anymore. Well, all right. Did you, yes. I'm not well. So, I want to thank you. I got that out. I want to thank you for, and to tell your husband to knock it off. It's the Islanders. Rangers stink.
Thank you so much. You know, we've been connected on Twitter for years, so it's fun to actually finally talk to you and meet you virtually, but still, it's pretty cool.
I'm virtually too. I'm just virtual, you know, and I don't really exist.
Your figure of imagination.
Yeah, I was with Moses in the desert. You know, I told him. I said, look at this. Look at this. I got a feeling about this dark liquid here. You know what I mean? He said, shut up. I want water. And putting up the, you know, they got water from the rock. You know how we did that? We had to put hoses all the way to the Mediterranean. And, and we had to we involved 3 unions. It wasn't easy. So I called up Las Vegas, and they sent a magician over, and he just, boom, there it is.
Made it happen.
Yeah.
Miracles.
And I told them to call AAA because I can't stay out here. I got things to do, people to see. 40 years in the desert. I told them to take the cut off. What are you doing? Okay, so if you ever need any help out here, let me know. Because, you know,
definitely.
I got 2 degrees in meteorology. I know how to spin it.
Weather pictures are always welcome, Ed. If you ever see anything cool, tweet them to me.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah,
You know,
thank
we
you.
can do this again some other time. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll see you in
2
2
weeks.
weeks. Thank you.
Goodbye. Nice to see you.
And so then it's Ed Cohen. And when it comes to weather, Cohen's smart. As New York as you get, his money's on the Mets, which goes to show that Ed Joe always bets his heart. You'll hear a slick review or 2 from Nicky. And can't there's something Bird will sing some song. There's weather news and chick, enough to make you sick. You'll be glad you came along.